Wow, I'm in complete shock that LeBron James is back on the Cavs. I never thought that would happen. Again, he goes from being a villain to a hero overnight. Unless if you're a Heat fan. Obviously, if you're a Heat fan, most Heat fans are pissed. And they're burning his jerseys left and right. And I get it. You're pissed. You feel betrayed. But think about it this way. He helped your favorite team win 2 championships in the past 4 years. Most fans of NBA teams have never seen their team win a championship, or their team hasn't won a championship in 10, 15, 20, 30 years. So you guys are lucky. And I get it. It's your hard-earned money. You can do whatever you want. But in my opinion, I don't understand burning of the jerseys. Why not just try to sell the jersey on eBay? Yeah, the price of the jersey will be drastically decreased, but why not try to get some money back on it? Just my opinion, but you guys can do what you want. So as long as you're not a Heat fan, he goes from villain to hero overnight. Now, obviously, there's going to be a certain section of fans that don't really care either way, but the majority of NBA fans, I can't speak for the majority, but in my opinion, the majority of NBA fans, wow, they may not like him, but I think they're going to respect him. Again, as long as you're not a Heat fan, I think they're going to respect him for making this decision. And he didn't have to have a special this time around. He learned this time around that he didn't have to have a special decision too, so that was a good thing, because that was ridiculous with that special. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to knock the guy for raising money for charity. That was great, but you didn't have to have a special for it. But like I said, I never thought I'd see LeBron on the Cavs again. I'm a Knicks fan. I haven't seen the Knicks win in a long time, but I'm happy for the Cavs because they have potential to make it into the playoffs in the short term. Obviously, their goal is to win it all, but short-term goal is they got to make it back into the playoffs, and I think they have a decent chance of making it back into the playoffs this year. I don't think they're going to win a championship within the next couple of years, but maybe somewhere down the road, maybe 3-4 years from now, it's possible. Again, I'm not a Cleveland fan by any means, but I'd be happy for that city because they haven't had a championship in any of their major sports in I don't know how many years. They've had a really long drought, maybe like 30 years, 40 years. I don't know exact years, but it's been a really long time with any of their sports teams winning it. Actually, I think the Indians made it to the World Series against the Marlins, but the Marlins ended up beating them. But it's been such a long time for any Cleveland team to win a championship. So I'm happy for the Cleveland fans. And I think fans of other teams, aside from the Heat, respect LeBron for going back to the Heat. I mean, for going back to the Cavs, because he could have pretty much gone to any team. He would have had his pick. So it's a win-win situation for him. He's seen as a hero by most, or at least has respect by most NBA fans. And he has a better chance to be on a winning team on the Cavs than the Heat. The Heat are getting older, and yes, they made it to the championships last year, so obviously they were a great team to make it that far. But for the most part, they were relying on the big three, and you could only rely on 3 superstars for so long. They had no bench, and the Heat aren't willing to spend money and to put other great players or good players around LeBron. And the Cavs have a lot of picks, and obviously, of course, it's a crapshoot when it comes to picks because people can turn out to be great or good. People can turn out to be flops. You never really know for sure how that's going to play out. But they have a lot of draft picks. I think Cleveland's going to be willing to put other good players around him. You got Wiggins, who has potential to be pretty good, so it'll be interesting to see how Wiggins and LeBron play together. So I'm happy for Cleveland. Obviously, I'm not going to root for Cleveland when they play the Knicks, but I'd like to see them back in the playoffs. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think they'll make it back to the playoffs this year? Do you think they'll make it back to the playoffs in a couple years? Do you think that they'll even win a championship now that they have LeBron back? Do you think they have a lot of work to do? Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Thanks for watching. And follow me on Twitter, AlexGold14. Feel free to subscribe to me. Thanks.